Welcome back to Society Case Files. My name is Robert, and today I'm going to take you on a tour of my base, and then we're going to take a quick trip out to the deep desert so that I can show you what it looks like when you're playing on a private server. I'm going to fly down to a portion that would be normally very populated on the public server, and you can see what it sort of looks like in a place where there's far less people to populate it. But we're going to start off with my base. As you can see, it is the Harkonnen structure. I was able to get that building going, and you can see it's just basically a pretty monolithic thing in the middle of the area right near the Crossroads trading post. I built this section here. It's just a little tower, if you will, and you can see it is water sealed when you get up close to the wall, so people can be safe that are friends on the server. I got these two chests so that we can leave things for each other. They're perfectly safe in that area as well. You come up here, we've got the pentashield after you've crossed over the cool little ramp I've got. And then once we come in, I wanted this area to be a very easily accessible space so that I could put all of my stuff in one place and find it all quickly and without a struggle. And we've got my repair and my recycle there. There's the refineries. I got things going right now. That chest is specifically for ore. So I grab the ore and dump it in there. All my advanced stuff is going over here. So when I can build it, I will have the advanced weapon fabricator right there. Next to it is the garments and then the survival, both again advanced, as you can see. And then when we hop over here, I've got more chests. These are basically catch-all things. One of them contains all of the stuff that you can loot in the world, whether it's like military regulators, pumps, that kind of thing. You can see I've just got them all right there, easily found, so you kind of know what you're looking for. Now, as far as this ramp is concerned, I saw it out in the world. They built a little half ramp and a pedestal, and I decided to do it here just to change it up so that it didn't look quite so boring. So I've got all my fuel there for the dust stills, and I put them around here so it'd just be easier to access them, because it was just very inefficient to have them lined up along the wall. I'd have to grab a body, run to the very end, drop it off. Grab another body, run to the end, blah, blah, blah. It was just a stupid relay. So by putting them in this very tight formation, I'm able to work with them much quicker. I was going to throw some bodies in there right now, but I've got that plastone on me because I just did some base modifications and I really needed to put it away before I started messing around. But I mean, that happens a lot in this game where you are planning on doing something and then you end up, finding that you've forgotten whatever. In my case, often it is that I have left things in the buggy and then I'm halfway to the location and I notice that I left a whole bunch of crap in the inventory and it slows things down. So anyway, the reason I got the 4 is because when you have 4, you're basically getting 100,000 water each hour. You can get the higher level ones that do 45,000, but they do cost a lot of duraluminum. I'm not super happy with that. That water cistern is there so that I can drink water in the event of becoming dehydrated or if I'm just about to run out and I don't want to go down to the basement. So as we come through here, we're moving into the garage. This double set of stairs is very new. I used to have it working a different way. But when you come up here and go to the left side, you can see that I've got a little balcony that goes all the way around the garage and these two little cool hangout spots. But going through here is the apartment, basically where I'm putting all the decor and stuff, the bed, the little pieces of kitsch that you pick up throughout the game. I would have had more lighting, but I ran out. So you can only have 48 lights with my setup, and I have used it all. But as you can see, you do get the ability to run all the way around. It's very cool. When you come down here, we're going to go up to the Thopter area before I show you the rest of the garage. We got massive pentashields. I put these up on these little pedestals. I just thought it was cool. The advanced Thopter is on this one because I needed to actually make it wider. The Harkonnen variant, the legs are longer than the regular ones. So I had to add this flat section on the side in order to give this more room so that it could land and the legs didn't tweak out all the time. These pentashields were absolutely insane. I really thought they were pretty cool. These chests are just catch-alls. So like if I land and I have a bunch of stuff on me that's just random, I'll throw it in there really quick so that I can hop back on the Thopter and leave and make a quick getaway. So we're going to come down to the garage proper. This is where I keep the buggy and the bike. The buggy usually goes in that little section over there, the alcove with the circular thing. I put that pillar there just for the illusion of, some support. It's unnecessary. This is my advanced vehicle fabricator. It's ready to go. I built that a little while ago. Over here, there's the bike, as I said. Massive penta shield. When you come out here, you can see the base. Now, I chose those walls on purpose because I think they look really cool at night when you're approaching. I was going to vary them up, but then when I saw how they looked, I was like, oh, never mind. That's awesome. Here's my apartment from the outside. You can see I put some pillars there, and then I surround the things so that it doesn't look completely flat. I just thought it looked more aesthetic that way. So as we circle around, you can see my wind turbines above and basically just the other side of the base. I'm right next to Crossroads, as I said before. You can see the Coriolis storm's going to hit Arrakis in a few hours. So that's why it's so dusty and nasty outside. Anyway, so that's it. That's the base. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely different than my public server base because that is a more Atreides base. It's a lot warmer. It's certainly more friendly. The Harkonnen stuff is so cold. The lighting, the walls, it just feels very uninviting. So anyway, the next step here is we're going to go to the deep desert and I'm going to cut ahead. So we'll get rid of some travel time. And the next thing we'll see is the actual deep desert itself. All right, this is me launching. I've just gotten into the deep desert. We're going to head north, but I'm not going to take us through the PvP area. We're just going to stick to the places where you would have seen bases and that sort of thing. Notice that you're not going to be able to see the sectors because I am in streamer mode and it hides what sector you're in as well as some naming stuff when you load in. I also cut out load screens so you didn't have to watch that nonsense. But as you can see, playing on a private server is a lot different. I have traveled all over during this week and you can just see how crazy it is. I mean, there's not a whole lot more to the north that I haven't gone to, but check this out over here where I actually went pretty darn far. I found some spice way up there and I didn't quite reach the edge of the map this time, but I was really close. And what's funny is that even though I know that there's hardly anybody on this server and there's precious few people even playing on this particular set of sieges, and I also know that some of the people I have run into who rushed as fast as I did to get to the deep desert are actually really cool and nice folk. I still feel a sense of dread when I'm out there. I still turn up the volume, I turn off the music, and I really focus to make sure that I don't hear some Thopter blades coming so that I can get out of the situation, especially since we now have that 30-second timer to remove PvP. Now, there's an island out in the F sector. And it changes each time there's a storm. But I found it over multiple weeks where basically there is just a massive amount of titanium. Plenty, in fact. Too much to fill up your Thopter. I did 3 runs with the Assault Thopter and didn't even come close to wiping it out. And when I went out to do it the very first time, I got to admit, I was absolutely terrified. I figured for sure that was going to be the time that someone came and got me. But no, I didn't encounter a soul. And what's interesting about it is that it's close enough to the E sector because it's right on the border of F, each time I found it at least. I got plenty of titanium, hopped in the Thopter, and before I even know it, I'm back in PvE mode. Like, I hardly even recognized that I was in PvP. But that doesn't stop me from having the little dread that someone out there might be looking to just be a griefer for whatever reason. So anyway, we are going to fly out to some rocks. At this point, obviously, we've seen no signs of civilization. No other players have really staked a claim here. I have only seen 2 bases since I've started playing on a private server, to be perfectly honest. All the way out here, 2 bases. I sincerely doubt we're going to see one in this trip, but it's possible. I can tell you that from playing the public server, that rock formation that I just turned away from, that one on the right there, that would have had bases on it. It doesn't matter that it's not right up against the PvP zone. It would have had someone. Someone would have built there, I guarantee it. And that's why I'm going to sweep over it and just show you what it looks like. But it's very interesting playing on the private server. I mean, on one hand, I would understand someone saying that it would be nice if there was some sort of dread to worry about there. And I think that the devs could add, player versus environment things to worry about. Stuff like, NPCs out at certain sites that fight you for the ore. Sort of like in Shoal when you're trying to go down and get Jasminium. There's those enemy camps and dudes that are actually pretty tough. They could have that here, guarding different nodes or whatever. It would be nice. Then you'd have some ground combat that was outside of the Imperial testing stations. I would hope that they wouldn't add freaking Thopters with rockets just for the sake, because, I don't think that many people who are in the mindset that I am, and builders and folks that just kind of want to gather and advance their tech trees, I'm not really seeing them spending a lot of money on rockets or the defenses of them. But, who knows? This whole section would have had bases on it, guaranteed, or at least something. And if not that one, then that space over there that's directly ahead. But I think it's very interesting that they haven't really talked about a good way to do player versus environment and player versus player. If they did some instanced PvP that brought people together, sort of like, I don't know, like a proper battleground or something, and even offered a section in that battleground to have Thopters, it'd be pretty cool. I would definitely participate in that kind of thing. I don't really want to participate in when I'm trying to do exactly what I'm doing right there, just doing some farming and some mining. I'm out trying to get stuff so that I can make cooler items, and then some jackasses shoot me with rockets. That's not really that much fun. If I'm planning for the PvP though, then I'm in. I mean, I do a lot of PvP in things like Destiny. I've done, Tarkov. I've played that. I can't say that that's necessarily the most fun game, but it is definitely thrilling. And I just think that those do a better job of presenting a reason and a way to opt into the PvP that's seamless and makes sense for the story. And I hope they come up with that soon, because I've seen a bunch of the videos where it's showing the Steam charts as the player number drops significantly. But I mean, I got to be honest, a lot of people are talking about how they've played for over 300 hours. And if that's the case in just over a month and a half, then I think they got a lot out of that game. And even though obviously the people who made Dune want this to be perpetual, they want people to play for a long, long time, and they're planning on putting out more stuff, I can understand why people would be slacking off, even if it's just to take a break. Or maybe they are actually done. Maybe they've been griefed enough that they are like washing their hands of it, or whatever the case may be, that they have stopped. I mean, I have put in over 300 hours now, and that's crazy. There's just it's fun still. I'm still enjoying it. And I will admit that I am pretty darn addicted. But, I am starting to think, is there another game that I wouldn't mind trying to just throw some time into besides Dune? Part of the problem is the freaking fueling up your base, taxation. These concerns just weigh on the back of my mind, and I don't want to forget about them, because I don't want to log back in and see half my base gone and a bunch of my resources all trashed or whatever. You put a lot of time into that. So it kind of sucks that the game becomes a little bit of a very part-time job, in the sense that you have to protect your things by being mindful to at least log in and effectively pay the bill. I could get that being annoying. It was certainly annoying in Conan. I remember just getting fed up in Conan and being like, I'm totally done, and walking away. And then when I logged back in, 8 months later, I got nothing. It's just my character and whatever happened to be on them. And I happen to be standing in the ruins of my former base, and then I have to start over with the building and that sort of thing. But in Dune, I think that some of the materials are a little harder to come by than they were in Conan. I mean, granted, there were some high-end things in Conan Exiles that were a real pain in the butt. But like, if you don't have your Thopter, if you did just rage quit or just got bored and just stopped, you're just like, I'm done. I don't care. Right now, I don't care. Future me can worry about it. And you lost things like your Thopter, it would be kind of annoying. It'd probably take 2 or 3 days to get it all back. Maybe not even that much if you're really powerful, but it's still a little, disheartening and demoralizing to think, oh my gosh, I used to be a contender. I used to have thousands of this stuff and now I got none. So anyway, I can see why people might be a little leery and, get out while the getting's good or before they've got too much so they don't have that fear of losing it all or whatever. So I'm curious what you guys think. Are you playing on a private server at this point? And if you are you enjoying it? Is this something you would like, this lack of population? Do you think it matters considering what the PvP is now? Rocket wars and not much on the ground. What are your thoughts? Love to hear them. But anyway, I think you've seen enough of the private server Deep Desert being all vacant and alone. But if you do have thoughts or concerns, questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. But this is Robert with Society Case Files, signing off.